The Ruby Sands was exhausted, and the people longed for peace. The demands of a delusional elf seemed easy enough to ignore at the time. But let us return to where the desert held its breath. The fall of Satakas left not silence, but absence. 7 kingdoms remained, diminished yet unbroken. And in that fragile moment, Hogazan moved. He came not as a raider, but as inevitability. Around 232 AC, he struck with precision. His armies brought more than men, constructed beings, unnatural creatures, and strategies that seemed to know the future. War spread beneath the sands in suffocating tunnels, across cities reduced to memory, and even into the skies where fear had never lived before. And still, the 7 kingdoms endured. Decades passed. Neither side could claim victory. And so, in 293 AC, the war ended not in defeat, but in agreement. Hogazan did not conquer the Ruby Sands. He embedded himself within it. His influence took root where his armies could not. In 310 AC, he named himself emperor. Few challenged it. Then came his decree. Only one form of magic was to be taught: red magic. All knowledge, all practice, all disciplines were to fall beneath that single name, governed under his authority. To many lands, this was control. To the Ruby Sands, it was something else. They did not resist. They agreed. Because to the people of the desert, the decree changed nothing. Every spell, every rite, every ancient understanding, they already saw as part of a greater whole. If only red magic could be taught, then all magic was red magic. So they continued, unchanged. Their knowledge endured, hidden in plain sight beneath a name that meant everything, and therefore nothing. The law stood, but it held no power there. Years passed in this quiet tension. Influence lingered. The desert watched, as it always had. And then in 330 AC, something new began to move beneath the surface. Not an army, not a decree, a belief. It came without banners and without warning, first as whispers among travelers, then as symbols etched in hidden places, then as gatherings, small at first, then growing. The serpent cult. They did not announce conquest. They spoke of awakening, of cycles, of something ancient coiled beneath the world, waiting not to be found, but to be remembered. At first, they were dismissed. The Ruby Sands has always birthed strange beliefs, and most fade like footprints in wind. But this one did not fade. It spread. Quietly. Patiently. Merchants carried its ideas between cities. Scholars debated its meanings in private chambers. Even among soldiers and nobles, its symbols began to appear, subtle, deliberate. Not all who followed it called themselves part of it, and that was its strength. By the time it was recognized as something more than rumor, it had already taken root across the kingdoms. Not in one place, but in many. Not in one class, but in all. A cult, yes, but also something deeper. A presence within the people themselves. And still, no throne moved against it. No united force rose to challenge it. For the Ruby Sands has always been slow to fear what does not yet demand fear. And so it remained. Growing. Watching. Waiting. By 333 AC, the Ruby Sands remains as it has become. 7 kingdoms shaped by loss, hardened by survival. Durmandin watches from beyond uneasy borders. Galvasgrade stands unmoved within its wall. The Blade of Satakas has become legend. Hogazan's will still lingers, not as a conqueror, but as a quiet pressure woven into the world. And now, beneath even that, another presence coils. Unseen, unclaimed, uncertain. The desert is not his, but it is not untouched. And beneath the silence, beneath the decree that is followed in word and undone in meaning, beneath the quiet spread of something far older than empire, something waits. Because history in the Ruby Sands is never finished, only waiting.